Hi Aries, welcome to your March horoscope. Aries, today we're going to talk about the month of March, but more importantly, we're going to talk about a few events that are happening towards the end of February, which are very, very critical to us, and they will color March 2020 as well. What's happening on 25th of February is that our ruler Mars, which is currently in your house of career, will meet Ketu or South Node. I spoke about this aspect in detail along with Mercury retrograde in the overview video, which I'll put it in the comment section. So you should look at that video before you watch this because it is a very, very potent initiation of a new cycle in your career. When Mars is in our house of career, our entire physical activity is directed towards making something happen in our career. We are very, very invested in our career at this time. We are at this time very, very invested in making something ambitious come true. We want to be recognized for our career, for our power, for our projects. We'll be acting on our goals. So, a lot of physical energy is being put in a very methodical manner in your career, and it will continue to be there till 30th of March, which is an excellent thing to have because you have the energy to make things happen. This is a critical axis for you. This is the top of your chart. So, it will help you create certain projects that will give you visibility. But what happens when Mars meets Ketu? And it's not just that it's meeting Ketu alone, it is meeting Ketu at a very sensitive degree. It is meeting Ketu at the point where we had the eclipse of 26th of December 2019, because of which it will incite a karmic event in your career. I explained in the part 1 of the video, in the overview video of this aspect, that it was like when Joan of Arc just suddenly got an inspiration to do something completely different from their life. This is a point where certain old behavior, certain old way of being in our career is completely disassociated from us. We get an inspiration out of nowhere to do a very different activity in our life, to traverse a very different path for future. There's tremendous amount of energy that comes out of this aspect, and the aim is that we want to lead. The aim is that we want to live our life purpose, that we want to move towards the path that we were born to deliver. This exact conjunction inspired Joan of Arc, and she said, this I always somehow knew this was my path. This was what I was supposed to deliver. This was the first entry of Joan of Arc into a battlefield, and it produced victory for French. So there is a liberation and victory that comes through an inspiration that comes out of nowhere, which you will experience around 25th of February. This is especially true if you have planets around 4 to 6 degree of Aries. So March born Aries, especially 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th March born Aries will definitely feel this very, very strongly. But this is an aspect that will extend over the course of next couple of weeks. So a lot of you will experience that, but especially March born Aries will strongly experience it. And what's happening along with that is that 26th and 27th of February, moon is in Aries as well. So the moon in Aries will form a cardinal T-square with this aspect. A cardinal T-square is about action. It's about inspired action. So there will be certain actions which will be taken from 25th to 27th of February especially, which will be very, very karmic for you, which will be very, very fated for you, where you will be doing certain projects or work to recognize your power, to act on your goals. What you want to be careful about, because moon is the epicenter of this aspect, is that there is intensity of emotions involved here. There's intensity of purpose and action, but also emotions involved here, which can usually lead to power struggles with authority, which could lead certain amount of pull and push. But your authority will be challenged, and it will be somehow you'll be asked to take a position to lead. And this experience will shift what you're about to do. Aries, this is not an ordinary year. I have spoken about it previously as well. This is one of the first full horoscopes I'm doing in 2020, so I'll speak briefly about it. Mars will be in your sign from July all the way till end of this year. To be exact, from 27th of June, Mars, our ruler, will move into Aries. And this is a very rare event. Mars in our sign comes for such a long period after many, many years. The last time this happened was in 1988. Mars going retrograde in Aries, which will happen between September to November. So during this time when Mars is in Aries from 27th of June all the way to early 2021, the period between that from September to November, Mars will be moving retrograde and our courage will be challenged. So there is something you are creating this year which you have never created before. There's a turning point, and this initiation which is happening right towards end of February, which will fully pan out for you in March 2020, will be an integral part of that new start for you, because you might be working on something, you might be creating something. And this is the time, Aries, when usually, because sun is in your 12th house, when sun is hidden, this is usually a time when we take a back seat, because your season will begin after 19th of March. So the period before 19th of March is usually supposed to be us working behind the scene, making things happen behind the scene, preparing for our season, regenerating, backing off a little bit. But because our ruler is sitting in that critical part of our chart, even if you might be working remotely or might not be publishing anything publicly, you'll not be telling people about it, or you'll not be shouting it off the rooftop yet, you would be preparing on something life-changing behind the scene, and Mars will be activating you towards 25th of February towards a very fated direction in that vein. Mars will be in 10th house for people who are born between 29th of March to 2nd of April in first week of March. So let's go over the different degrees so you know when Mars is coming in your career house. Right now in February till end of February, people who are born in March will feel the effect of Mars in your career very, very strongly. That means that you'll be putting in a lot of effort in your career, you'll be activating something, you'll be delivering something at work. Especially if you're March born, you'll feel that in February. Then the first week of March, if you have planets between 9 degree to 13 degree of Aries, which is if you're an Aries sun born between 29th of March to 2nd of April, you'll feel it strongly in the first week of March. Then if you have planets between 13 degree to 18 degree of Aries, which means that if you're an Aries sun born between 2nd of April to 7th of April, you'll feel this energy going into your career in the second week of March. Then if you have planets between 18 degree to 23 degree of Aries, which means that if you are an Aries sun born between 7th to 12th of April, you'll feel that in the third week of March. And then if you have planets between 23 degree to 30 degree of Aries, which means if you're an Aries sun born between 12th to 20th of April, you'll feel that in the last week of March. So that's the distribution. What is happening over and above this activation and this full throttle pressure and work that will be going on in a visible project or your career progression in the course of March and to activate it from end of February, what's happening over and above that is that Jupiter this year, Jupiter, the planet of expansion this year, is also in your house of career. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. It will move into your 11th house, in your house of networks, from December onwards, from 19th December 2020 onwards. But right now, at this moment, Jupiter has come after 12 years in your house of career. Jupiter in our house of career will increase our workload, but it increases the potential and the possibility of growth in our career as well. So you would be looking at expanding your business image. You would be looking to get into a big business. You might be looking to transform your social status this year. And Jupiter will bring opportunities to expand your social status and your career for once in 12 years of growth right now. With Mars acting in the very same area of your life, you would find that right now your actions will be inspired by something that is longer lasting and which is expansive as compared to what you have done before. So it is not going to be something like a singular project. It would be like a business that you're trying to set up for longer term. The efforts are rewarded, but you need a lot of focus here. So don't try to spread yourself thin across projects, across businesses, across jobs here. We are required to focus on a singular project or job. We're required to focus our resources towards one goal when Jupiter is in Capricorn. Don't scatter, choose a direction, master it, and don't rush to decisions here. Here, we want to act ethically in a focused manner, engaging all of our resources in one direction. And you'll find that you'll be moving away from your comfort zone here because Jupiter has already met South Node before. And when Mars meets South Node on 25th of February, you'll know it in your soul that you're moving away from your comfort zone. There's something that is calling to you which is beyond your comfort zone here. So the long-term contracts and commitments that you might have adhered to before would have to cut off. Ketu is past. Something from the past is cut off because our destiny calls to us. So you might be sensitive to the fact that something has come to an end. And that brings me to Mercury retrograde, which I discussed in the previous video. Mercury retrograde right now is sitting in your house of endings. Mercury is our mind, and when it is sitting in our 12th house, we are required to take a step back to end something. We are normally on the heel of a big breakthrough when Mercury goes retrograde, because our mind knows that an old cycle has come to an end. So it needs to take a step back to regenerate, to retreat, to figure out what is stopping me from stepping into my destiny. What is stopping me from moving ahead? So a retreat is required, a quiet time is required, a healing is required before that step is taken. So even though you feel inspired around 25th or 26th of February, or you know it in your soul, even right now where you want to go, you might need to review things behind the scene at least till 4th of March. At least till 4th of March, there is something that needs to be finished, some hindrance that needs to be overcome. It could be your own fear, it could be an enemy who's acting against you. There is an element that is stopping you from getting there. And while you're working behind the scene, you might be sort of adding embellishments to your plan, to your dream, to your place in the world. Mercury here is very, very spiritual in nature. It connects us to everything else in the world. So there are messages beyond from within that you need to receive here to add to your plan. Apart from knowing what needs to end, it will inform you what gives you peace as well. So it will sort of inform you about what is your place in the world and how you can contribute to the world in a way where you're not waiting for the praise to come from the world. This is a very different part of our chart which is getting highlighted. So Mars is sitting in your house of career, while Mercury and Sun, they are sitting in your house of selfless service. And then the two merge together. So these two parts of your life are working in unison with each other. The service, the spirituality, the creativity, the intuition, the work that is done out of love, out of dedication to the world, out of healing to the world, out of the intent to heal others, out of the intent to help others. These are the two parts of your life that are converging together. On 20th of February, Jupiter in your house of career is merging with Neptune in this house for you. So these two parts of your life, they are meeting together, and a new seed will be born on 23rd or 24th or 25th of February. When this activation is happening in your career, what is getting planted along with that is the intent to do something beyond your current existence, intent to be part of something bigger than you, intent of being part of a bigger universe. Because Neptune is in your house of spirituality. It is teaching you and me to be part of a universe beyond our current limited surroundings. It is asking us to be bigger than what we are right now, to sort of connect with the outer world at a spiritual level, at a healing level. So there is something beyond material reality that you're here to deliver to the world. And that part is getting merged and embedded, and your career is getting embedded with that inspiration because of you taking a step back as a result of Mercury retrograde. Mercury will be retrograde till 9th of March, but till 4th of March, it is sitting in your house of hidden treasures, in your house of taking a back seat, in your 12th house, in your house where things need to be worked behind the scene. So till 4th of March, handle the past, handle the issues of the past, close the chapters, handle some past issues. Maybe there is a sorrow that is holding you back, a past loss that is holding you back to go full throttle into your career. There is something below the surface that is affecting how you deliver in the world that needs to be modified. That is not letting you speak up. That is not letting you be as authoritative as you would like to be in your work, in your career. Because Mercury rules your third house and sixth house. It rules how you speak up. It rules how what kind of projects you take on. So if there is an embedded fear or a past loss or a hidden enemy sitting within you that has stopped you from getting there, that needs to be handled right now. There's a past that needs to be let go and forgiven, and a subconscious detox or flush required, because it will make you lighter enough. It will make you renewed enough. It will make you confident within yourself enough to move forward more bravely. So during this time, give yourself time to work from home. Give yourself time to take a little bit of time for yourself away from the crowd, to meditate, to give yourself, infuse yourself with the spiritual power, infuse yourself with positivity, infuse yourself with the knowing that there is power beyond that is with you. This is the house of hidden hand of God, or whichever higher power you believe in. This is about faith in life. This is about faith in your destiny. This is about faith in your ability to deliver something to the world that is of value. So pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to the fact that the life is flowing for you right now, because this is a flowing aspect. This is easy aspect where inspiration, creativity, spirituality easily flows into your career. Jupiter and Neptune will meet each other on 20th of Feb, just right before this inspiration, this spark begins on 25th of February. So you'll find this in making. This is not going to come like a surprise to you. This will be something that you have been wanting. This has been something who you have been wanting to become. And this positive aspect of Jupiter and Neptune working in unison with each other will continue till mid of March. So use this period till mid of March to be inspired from it. See bigger than what you have seen for yourself in your career. Especially if you have planets around 17 or 18 degree of Aries, which is around 7th of April born, you would find spirituality, creativity, and doing things beyond what you have ever done before, which affects largest set of people, to be very much embedded as part of the seed, as part of the new start you're going to have in your career. So that will be very much a part of the new seed that is being planted around 23rd to 25th, 26th of February. And then in March, we act on it. In March, we act on it, even though we stay behind the scene, especially till 19th of March. After 19th of March, your season begins and you are ready for your new start. But even ahead of 19th of March, there are certain projects that will come into focus because there is a full moon happening on 9th of March in your house of service, in your house of job, in your house of career. So there could be a project of relevance that might come from maturity starting from around 9th of March. From 9th of March to 24th of March, you might be really busy in making something happen, in completing something. There is something which you are specialist of, which you have expertise in. You have special skills which are required for a project. It could be medical skills, it could be your ability to go deep down and do research into something that is required to be used. There could be a work environment shift. Maybe you are changing job at this stage because of the activation that happens in February. You might decide to put an end to an old chapter when it comes to your work environment. This is especially true if you have planets around 20 degrees of Aries. So if you have planets around 20 degrees of Aries, which is around 9th of April born, you might decide to close on the old job. You might decide to leave a workplace. You might decide to shift things in a big way in terms of what you're delivering, what you're servicing, what is your output to the world. And you want to be of value to the world, because of which you might decide to shift what you're doing. And there's a inherent shift which might have come not just from now, since September 2015, and I'll request you to look back to that period. Look back to September 2015. We had an eclipse in this area, in your area of work environment and job, in September 2015. But that was a new start. Maybe some new job initiated in September 2015 for you, which took 6 months to sort of set up or come through. You maybe applied for a job and that came through in 6 months starting from September 2015, or you decided to shift the kind of project you are in. This is again especially true if you have planets around 20 degree of Aries, which is around 9th of April born. Maybe 3 or 4 days before and after. So first two, I would say 4th of April to about 14th of April. This definitely happened for me, I know that, because that eclipse was very, very strong, which happened in September 2015. So look back to September 2015. If you initiated a new job, it is possible that your karma with that might be over and you might be moving to something different. Or if you started a shift in your work environment at that time, that might be coming to a conclusion. This is also your house of health that is getting activated from 9th of March, and Mercury retrograde right now in your house of healing might be helping you look at alternative solutions. So be a little bit prepared that on 9th of March onwards, something related to health could come into focus. You might decide to shift your health completely. You might decide to have a new health routine in place. You might decide to shift jobs because of health reasons, to take care of your health. This is the house of mind-body connection. You'll be more sensitive in your body as a result of the thought process that is going on in your mind. So if there are any issues, any hormonal issues, any adrenal issues, any issues related to digestive system, related to cleansing of the body, if any of those issues, health issues come to mind, they will be directly connected to how you feel about your work and how hostile or not so hostile is your work environment. So it will prompt you towards shifting something in your health direction, in your health environment, in your health routine, starting a new diet, or you want to sort of make things happen in your health, or you might see results of a health change that you instituted at this time, and you might see result of that coming through. It's a very, very good time to leave something that does not serve you well in terms of food. At the same time, you might decide to shift your work environment, shift how you connect at work. in order for you to take care of yourself better. You might decide to change the work timing or change the work environment or change the job to help you with your health at this time. Your health would be a topic of sensitivity between 9th of March to 24th of March. So you want to be careful at that time because Neptune will be with Sun at this time. So we are helped in a much potent way if we institute a healing practice at this time, doing yoga, having a softer practice for ourselves, or even if you're a Mars driven sign, you like to be active. So if you decide to have an active lifestyle at this time, which serves you well, which is a positive expression of Mars being in your 10th house right now, working out will help you channel your energy in a very positive fashion. If you decide to do any of that, that will give you much better results between 9th of March to 24th of March. And any new diets, any new healing methods, any new ways of an alternative therapy, I would suggest you to institute that after 9th of March and not before 9th of March. During Mercury retrograde, it's not a good time to start a new job. It's not a good time to start a new contract or sign a new contract. Invest a lot. Don't sign on a big investment. Don't sign on a new gym membership, if I may say. Or even if you do, institute clauses in it for you to be able to change your mind, because your mind is undergoing a review till 9th of March. You might shift your mind after 9th of March. So don't finalize things, but after 9th of March with the full moon, finalize things. Institute new health habits. Bring to home a health practice you started before. Bring to home a job. Bring to home a project that you wanted to do, which is your big contribution to the society because you're a SME in that field. Bring something to home which you can be proud of, which requires you to go into detail and do a lot of research work for, where you want to be accurate, where you want to be working hard, where you want to be detailed. Bring that home starting from 9th of March and do the background work of that before. Another thing which will happen is that Mars will meet Pluto in March. This is a very strong aspect. Even as a precursor to Mars meeting Pluto, Mars will meet Jupiter. It's a very, very positive aspect to happen. It means that our actions are reaping rewards, and that will happen right on the heel of your season starting on 19th of March. Your season begins on 19th of March. Sun is in our sign. We are feeling fantastic. We are feeling ready for a new cycle. We are ready to launch ourselves, the new us, to the world. And right on the heels of that, we have this fantastic aspect happening on 20th of March when Mars, our ruler, meets the planet of growth and blessings on 20th of March, which means that our actions will reap rewards. This is especially true if you have planets between 23 to 24 degree of Aries, which is around 11th to 15th of April born if you are an Aries. Especially if you are 13th, 14th, 12th of April born, you'll feel this very, very strongly. But around 11th to 15th, even a wider orb, 10th to 16th of April born, will feel this very strongly. You'll feel very intent to make things happen, and your actions will have strong outcomes. This is when all the work, all the taking a step back in the past couple of weeks, it will pay off for all of us, but especially for people who have planets between 20, 22, 23, 24, 25 degree of Aries, which is around 11th to 15th or 10th to 16th of April born. One thing to look out for, because I have not covered anything on personal life, Venus is currently in your sign. Venus comes in our sign to help us attract things to us. Until 4th of March, Venus is in Aries. It's a wonderful time for us to change things up when it comes to our personal life, when it comes to attracting love, when it comes to making shift in the way we look, when we want to go ahead and, boost our self esteem, invest in things. But Venus is in Aries during the retrograde time, which means that it's a good time to research and find and attract ideas around it, but sign off on things after Mercury goes direct after 9th of March. So there are two dates that I want you to be careful of, which is 28th of February and 3rd of March. 28th of February is when Venus is meeting Pluto. This is when something in our personal life could become an ego issue, a control issue in love, or we might somebody too controlling in our personal life who might come into play. It could be somebody even at work who might be trying to control what you're able to attract at work, or how much are you paid at work. Your financial situation might come into conflict with somebody in authority, and your ability to attract people could come at conflict with somebody in authority. And there are two dates for that I want you to be careful of, which is 28th of February and 3rd of March. But it will bring out your own power. You'll come out very strong because Venus is on your side. It is your ability to attract other people, your ability to attract favors, which will get combined with a very intrinsic powerful aspect, which makes you which enables you to sort of have people do what you really want them to do. I mean, this is a fight of control between two people which will come up, but you'll find that you'll be coming off stronger in it, both in your personal life and professional. But this, in my view, in your personal life could cause a little bit of stress, especially on 28th of February and 3rd of March. You want to be careful. You want to be more cautious when you're dealing with your loved ones on these dates. If you're a woman, there could be additional responsibility that could come to your shoulders. On 3rd of March, we can feel a little more stressed. We can feel that things are not as they should be in our love life, or things are not as they should be in the way we look. This is especially true if you have planets around 24 degree of Aries. So 24 degree of Aries could feel that on 28th of February, and they should be careful of power struggles in personal life. This is 13th or 14th of April born Aries. Then if you have planets around 28 degree of Aries, which is around 17th to 20th of April born, you want to be careful on 3rd of March. There could be some amount of stress in your personal life that can come on 3rd of March, and we can generally feel a little bit low on that day. There could be a delay in a financial matter as well, which is possible, or slight disappointment that things are not as you thought, as valuable as you thought they could be, or as lovey-dovey as you thought in your love life. I mean, there's a little bit of, it's temporary, it's a slight 1 or 2 days aspect, but keep a lookout on those dates. Then on 19th or 20th of March, Sun is moving in our sign, and we have a new moon coming, of course, in our sign in the month of March. The new moon is happening on 24th of March in Aries, and this is of course coming on the heel of something new coming in your career as well. When a new moon happens in our sign, we decide to start a new chapter for us. We decide to launch a new way of being when it comes to the external world. And for you, this is happening on 24th of March at 4 degree. I'll speak about it more in detail when we talk about your season in March, but it's happening at 4 degree of Aries. So if your planets at around 4 degree of Aries, which is the early degree of Aries, so it's around 24th, 25th of March born, early degree Aries. So March born Aries will feel a complete reset. This is not an ordinary new moon for you. This is like my whole life is shifting, especially if you have planets around 4 degree of Aries. The next 1 year is going to be very, very eventful and a complete new beginning in life. So good luck for March and good luck for this. I have not spoken about a very big aspect that is happening in the month of March, which is Saturn will be moving into our 12th house in March, because I covered that in the 2020 and beyond series on Saturn moving into your 11th house of networks, where we'll be working on creating the next 20 years of abundance for us. Do look at that video separately. I will try to do another video which goes into Saturn in the 11th house, because Saturn will stay in your house of networks all the way till middle of 2023, starting from 21st of March. 21st or 22nd of March, it will begin and it will last for 3 years. This is you laying down the foundations of what kind of networks you should be part of, what kind of platform I should create. So from creating a visible career for yourself, now you start to see how you can influence larger set of people with what you do. You start to create a platform to launch yourself. That will be part of our destiny for the next 3 years. I have spoken about it in the 2020 and beyond video. I'll link that one as well in the comments. Look at that, and then hopefully I'll do another video on Saturn in 11th house which you can look at. Good luck, Aries. Thank you.